Asia, President Trump continues his trip now in Vietnam, taking a tough stand on trade today, laying out his vision for economic growth in the region. Overnight, while we were all sleeping, he said the following.
We are not going to let the United States be taken advantage of anymore. I am always going to put America first, the same way that I expect all of you in this room to put your countries first.
Now, senior foreign affairs correspondent Greg Palkot, more on the president's visit as we continue to track this. And what has he been saying so far in Da Nang, Vietnam, Greg?
Yeah, exactly, Bill. It's taking a tougher stance on trade. We heard from President Trump after a bit of a softer take in Beijing. He was speaking today before a group of CEOs on the sidelines of that APEC regional summit in Da Nang, Vietnam. He once again said he didn't blame China and other countries for taking advantage of the U.S., instead seeming to blame past U.S. administrations. He also seemed to be saying he wouldn't let that happen again. Take a listen.
The United States will no longer turn a blind eye to violations, cheating, or economic aggression. Those days are over. We will no longer tolerate the audacious theft of intellectual property.
He also flatly said, Bill, that his administration would only do bilateral trade deals with other countries that they can control. Still, on the sidelines of this summit, two different regional multilateral trade arrangements were being discussed by officials.
Now, will he meet with Putin after the handshake we saw about 2 hours ago?
Yeah, that's the big question, Bill. It looks like it's not going to happen, but it's not over yet. Again, at a group photo of the leaders at this APEC summit, there was a handshake, some words exchanged between President Trump and Russian President Putin. They were standing next to each other. The White House seems to be saying that's as far as it's going to go. The Russians saying they're getting mixed messages from the White House. Again, there is still one more day to the summit. Now, a stated aim of this trip was to get Russia on board with a tougher stance against North Korea. Without getting a firm commitment from the Russians, that could be seen by some as a miss. Finally, Bill, there was another important meeting today in Da Nang. President Trump meeting with 7 U.S. Vietnam War veterans. 50 years ago, battles raged in that area. This is Veterans Day weekend. A searing conflict in U.S. history remembered today. Back to you.
Indeed. Thank you, Greg. Greg Palkot reporting on that. Latest from London.